Okay, next question. Good question. And if I don't answer your question, by the way, if you're not happy with the response I give you, please by all means just keep firing questions at me. I'll expand. I'll elaborate. For anyone that knows me, I'm very open. I mean, there's really nothing you can't ask me, and the purpose of all of this is to make you guys feel a part of it, to give you the information you want. So please, by all means, nothing is off base. You can ask me anything you'd like to know. Okay, so next question. As a director, what do you look for in an actor when casting? As a director, what do you look for in an actor when casting? For me, it's several different things. Number one, I kind of start, I guess, from a physical standpoint. Does the actor have the physicality as I see it when I read the project? That's a jumping off point for me. And then the next thing is, do I feel like they have talent? I mean, do I feel like they're good actors once I bring them in a room to read for the film? Number three, do I feel like we can work together? Do I feel like this person and I connect? And do I feel like we're trying to make the same film? And do I feel like they're going to work hard to try and make the film as good as we possibly can? And number four, which has really changed even since I made the last lullaby, but is certainly a criteria in my book now and as I move forward, is, does the actor take ownership of the film? I mean, is the actor that we're hiring hungry for this role? And are they going to get out there and promote the film just like the director and the producer and the writer are? And are they going to make festival appearances? Are they going to promote it to their friends on Facebook? Are they going to drive people to the film just like everyone else involved is trying to do? And I really think that's that's a job and that's a responsibility of actors as we sort of move forward with independent film. And so that sort of willingness and eagerness to get out there and promote is going to be important for me when I sit down and try and figure out who's going to be in Peril. And I'll ask point blank if we get to the point of really liking someone and thinking, this is who we want to hire. I'll have to be convinced that this person is going to get out there and work hard for the movie, even after they've acted in it, because I really feel like everyone benefits. I mean, everyone benefits if the movie is successful. I as a director benefit. Anyone who's following the film and is part of the film benefits, just because we all have a relationship now with something that's successful. Actors benefit because their name and their reputation goes up. So I really feel like that's an important yet new criteria for hiring actors in my book as I move forward. Okay, next question. Hey Jeffrey, Corey here. When do you start filming, and what type of advertising other than Facebook do you plan to utilize? When do we start filming? Okay, good question. Well, we're raising money right now for the film. So it's all contingent on how quickly the money comes together. In an ideal world, we'll be filming Peril at the end of this year. Whether or not that happens will completely be dependent on just how fast the money comes together. Right now, I'm raising the money for it. That's my full-time job right now. Things are going well, but you just never know when you're in this process how quickly it's all going to happen. I can't give an absolute start date yet for the filming. It's all completely dependent just on how quickly the money comes together. And then what type of advertising other than Facebook do you plan to utilize? I mean, that's a good question. Right now I use Twitter, which I'll certainly continue to try and use more and more and to use better. One thing I'm really starting to do now is one thing that's becoming more and more important as an independent filmmaker is to identify niche markets for your film. Who is the most obvious person? Who are the most obvious people that are going to like this movie? Because what is the subject matter that the movie covers, and what are organizations that already exist who are interested in that subject matter, and how do I form partnerships with them so that in some ways I can kind of help promote their cause and their organization, and reciprocally they can turn around and help spread the word about the film. And so that's one thing I'm really trying to think about and do right now is, form these partnerships, form these alliances, get people working for the film, because at the end of the day, the film promotes something that they're really passionate about. So that's a form of advertising that I'm going to explore more and more as we move forward, and I really hope to do a lot of that with Peril. So Facebook, Twitter, I still keep a blog. Right now, my blog is I write for Movie Maker magazine on Movie Maker's blog, moviemaker.com. Right now, it's mainly post on my favorite film from each year, from 1926 to 2008. I've been doing a countdown, so all of you can access that just by going to www.moviemaker.com. You'll see my blog on the home page. But as we move forward with Peril, I'll use that blog to promote Peril too. Movie Maker says they're the world's best-selling independent movie magazine, so there's certainly an audience that follows Movie Maker that we can align ourselves with too for Peril. Other forms of advertising, maybe we probably won't do TV ads. Usually with a film of this size, we don't have a budget for that. Those are the most obvious forms of advertising I know at this point. I still do an email list. I guess that's another way to advertise. Any of you who don't already, if you want to receive monthly email updates on Peril, simply send an email to register@perilthemovie.com, and I'll add you to the list. And that's the very best way to keep up with Peril, is I send monthly email updates. They land in your inbox. I don't bombard you. I literally only send one a month, but that'll tell you everything that's happening as we move forward. But I'm open if anyone has other forms of advertising that they think we should be looking at. Certainly let me know. By no means do I know everything, and I'm very open to any new ideas. Okay, great questions. Let me see. Keep throwing questions up there. If you're just joining, you're here talking about the independent film Peril. I'm Jeffrey Goodman. I'm the director. All of you should be able to see and hear me. The way that you interact in this chat is you need to enable the chat pop-up. You can send questions into the chat pop-up. I can see them, and then that'll drive and guide the conversation. So make sure you enable the chat pop-up if you're here tuning in and you can see and hear me. And I'll look over to the chat pop-up and see what other questions we have coming in. Please keep firing questions at me. We'll go for another 10 or 15 minutes as long as y'all have questions. Thank you all for being here. Let me see what we've got. Okay. Can you give us a clue as to the peril that the young boy in your movie is subjected to? That's a good question. Well, I can tell you that people are after him, and he runs away. The peril is primarily that people either want to subject him to some form of harm or keep him quiet forever. That's really the peril he's under, is that he possesses some information that people consider quite dangerous, I guess. And primarily the peril that he's in is that people are after him, and people are after him, and once they find him, they don't really plan to do the nicest of things to him. So I guess that's the best answer I can give. If that's not satisfactory, though, please continue to push me, and I'll see if I can come up with a better answer.